Emerson, for Magnuson, Ahola, Kuchanovsky, Zageris. 8 men who have become legends by winning multiple World's Strongest Man championships. Brian Shaw expected to join that group a year ago, but the American, derailed by injury, failed to defend his title. Now Shaw is back and determined to take his place alongside those icons of the sport, and his quest begins today. Sanya, the southernmost city in China's southernmost province, is the host as we contest the Commerce World's Strongest Man for the 36th time. We get Group 3's qualifying underway at Sanya's Haitong Bay Plaza. The first event will be the loading race.
Yeah, Brent, the idea here is simple. All you have to do is move 2 barrels and 2 sacks, which total over 1,000 pounds, as quickly as possible. So in addition to strength, this one will also require the athletes to not only have speed, but they have to have endurance.
Now to Heat 1. Juha-Matti Järvi is making his second World's Strongest Man appearance. He's a carpenter back in Finland. It's also the second appearance for South Africa's Frankie Scheun. He's a 2-time Southern Hemisphere Strongest Man. And Latvia's Dainis Zageris is the only rookie in Group 3, but the 31-year-old former powerlifter has an extensive background in strength sports. 265 pounds for the barrels, 275 for the sacks.
How about the rookie Zageris out of the gate? He's a former powerlifter, but he's looking like a former ballerina with as fast as he's moving with those 265-pound kegs.
It's 15 meters to the platform, then you gotta lift it on. So he's halfway through, and Scheun looks pretty strong, but Zageris is even better.
Scheun looks to be making up some distance from behind. Remember, transitions are so important.
Zageris puts the first sack up there. He's in first, Scheun in second, and Järvi struggling in third.
You see Zageris there with a little bit of bobble getting a hold of that 275-pound sack. Remember, the sacks don't have handles, so they're a little bit harder to handle.
Pretty impressive. He's winning the heat is Zageris, Scheun in second, and Järvi battling his way to the platform with the final sack.
Järvi's struggling there. Remember, Järvi's a pretty strong dude, but it's clear his endurance got him.
So Zageris takes the 4 objects in 45 flat, Scheun in 46.42, and Järvi only got 3 done.
Excellent job here. There weren't any signs of nerves for that rookie. He showed off his quickness to get out to an early lead and never looked back.
On down to heat number 2, Austria's Martin Wildauer, 6'3", 313. He was just 21 when he made his debut back in 2009. Now the 6'6" and 374-pound Terry Hollands, he's the Englishman, has reached 7 straight finals, finishing third twice. And Brian Shaw, the United States, the 2011 champ, a monster of a man at 6'8", 415. He's more agile than you'd think, having played college basketball at Black Hills State University.
The athletic backgrounds of both Shaw and Hollands paying off early as they both get out to a great start.
Again, it's 15 meters to the platform, and these guys neck and neck. Shaw slightly ahead.
You keep in mind, these barrels are 265 pounds, and they're carrying them around like they're a can of beer.
No doubt about that. Now 275 on the sacks. You mentioned a little more difficult to pick these up.
Yeah, they're a little bit heavier by 10 pounds, but there's also no handles. But look, we talked about that endurance. Brian Shaw, not only quick while he's carrying the sacks, but also in his transitions.
45 flat the time to beat, and Shaw, absolutely no problem, 40.28. Hollands finishes in second. Wildauer in third in the heat will finish 4th overall in this event. The overall winner in the loading race is Brian Shaw in 40.28. Hollands in second place in the loading race.
Yeah, Brent, for some reason, the sack didn't quite look 275 pounds when Brian Shaw was carrying it. Although I guess it could have something to do with the fact that he's 6'8", 415 pounds. Pretty good showing by the big man.
Stopping the clock at 40.28 seconds, Brian Shaw gets the win in the loading race and is awarded 6 points towards his overall total. Terry Hollands took second. Dainis Zageris was third. Situated on the South China Sea, Sanya, China features a lively city center, cultural sites, and of course, tropical waters. The Commerce World's Strongest Man continues a Group 3 second event, a traditional measure of strength, the deadlift.
Yeah, and to lift the 795-pound car, the strongmen are going to need to use their quads, glutes, and back. And timing and rhythm is key, Brent, when they're trying to do this, because they have to pound out as many reps as possible in only 60 seconds.
Frankie Scheun, a sheep farmer in South Africa, comes into the deadlift on the heels of a fifth-place finish in the loading race. Juha-Matti Järvi of Finland finished sixth in the first event. So, Aaron, both guys need a good result here, especially when they're competing with guys like Brian Shaw and Terry Hollands. And just two athletes will move on to the final.
Yeah, Brent, this isn't necessarily a conventional deadlift. It allows the legs to be able to help a little bit more, so technique is going to be very good because the athletes want to make sure that they don't over-pull, if you will.
Good start for Scheun. Järvi working on his second. Scheun has lifted it 3 times, and now Järvi to his knees.
Järvi buckled down. You wonder if he's got any more in him, but Scheun's struggling a little bit as well. Remember, the face is the lie detector.
Scheun starting to tire. Järvi just can't get that second, and he's checked out. Looks like Scheun is done as well. 5 for Scheun, only 1 for Järvi. The number to beat early on here is going to be 5 reps. Scheun in the deadlift.
Yeah, Brent, my back hurts just thinking about what these guys have to do. The strain that the body is under when you're trying to lift 795 pounds is absolutely incredible. Very good job by Scheun.
Brian Shaw from Fort Lupton, Colorado is off to a nice start as he looks to reclaim the title he lost a year ago. Brian picked up a win at the first event for Group 3. This should be an event that suits Dainis Zageris pretty well. The Latvian has seen his share of deadlifts as a former powerlifter.
Yeah, but I'm guessing he probably hasn't seen too many guys that are a full 9 inches and 117 pounds heavier than him. He's going to have to try and match the power of the former champ here.
Brian, you ready? Dainis, you ready? Lift! Down! Wait for the signal! Lift!
Zageris.
Lift! Down! Lift!
Shaw looking strong right out of the gate.
The number to beat is 5.
See how Shaw is one linear motion, smooth technique. Zageris is kind of trying to pump his way up to get the car up. Yeah, you see Brian Shaw there. Ask how many. He's so focused on what he's doing, he's lost track of how many reps he's done.
7 now for Shaw, 6 Zageris.
Love Shaw's technique, hamstrings, glutes. Gets it up to mid-thigh and then uses his erectors and that great back strength to get it up. I think Zageris is done, though.
You saw Shaw a moment ago asking the officials how many reps he's at. It's 8. Zageris not going to get to his 8th. Time's up, and a good effort by both these guys. Shaw finds out he is indeed the current leader with 8 reps. And the Latvian, Zageris, in second with 7 reps. Zageris really fought through pain to earn every one of those 7 repetitions. Meanwhile, it looked like Shaw was capable of doing more, but didn't overly exert himself. Terry Hollands never had surgery on his torn bicep tendon that was injured a year ago, but he didn't look tentative in the first event where he finished second. Martin Wildauer is in 4th place after one event, but the good news is that the deadlift is the Austrian's favorite event.
Yeah, Brent, this is actually one of the best events for both of these guys. I'd expect a shootout here, and who knows, Brian Shaw's 8 reps as a score to beat could be in jeopardy.
It's Terry Hollands and Martin Wildauer.
Saw Terry Hollands before this event started smelling some ammonia caps or smelling salts to get the mojo going. It seems to be working pretty good so far.
Again, the number to beat is 8, and both guys in a good early rhythm. Hollands has 4. Now 5. Wildauer has 5 as well.
Yeah, Brent, you'll see both of these athletes electing to compete without shoes. A lot of them think that it gives them better form by helping them stay off their toes and keeps their feet better connected to the ground.
Both at 7. 8 the number to beat. Terry Hollands struggles his way to number 8. Same with Wildauer.
795 pounds at this point in the competition. Your lactic acid muscles are burning like crazy. It just becomes about want to.
Both at 9. Now tied for first in the event. What more do they have in them? Final few seconds, whistle blows. So they tie for first in the deadlift, each with 9 reps.
Yeah, pretty good showing by Terry Hollands, a 7-time finalist, and Wildauer almost made the finals the last couple years. He's got to be pretty happy with himself as well.
The USA's Brian Shaw had 8 reps, but settled for third. It's England's Hollands and Wildauer of Austria who shared the victory in the deadlift with 9 reps apiece. Hollands assumes the overall lead after 2 events with 10.5 points. Shaw is just a half point back in second. Then in third, it's Wildauer. Zageris is in 4th place. Sanya, China, a city where culture and tradition are embraced, is the host for the Commerce World's Strongest Man. The Nanshan Cultural Tourism Zone was the location for the 3rd unique challenge of strength for Group 3, the overhead lift. Austria's Martin Wildauer couldn't build upon his momentum from the deadlift. He had just 1 rep of the 357-pound weight. Frankie Scheun also had trouble handling the train axle. The South African also finished with 1 good lift. The education of rookie Dainis Zageris continued in the overhead lift. 1 repetition was all he could manage. It wasn't exactly pretty, but Juha-Matti Järvi of Finland was able to post a result of 2 reps. Terry Hollands of England also completed 2 reps, but the big guy wasn't too pleased with the result. Brian Shaw knew what was required to get the event victory, and the American did just that. He recorded 3 reps. So Brian Shaw gets his 2nd win of the qualifying round with 3 repetitions. There was a 2nd place tie as Terry Hollands and Juha-Matti Järvi each had 2 reps. Shaw's at the top of the leaderboard at the halfway point with 16 points. Hollands 2nd with 15. Wildauer in 3rd. Zageris 4th. Remember, just 2 athletes from Group 3 will qualify for the final. Brian Shaw and Terry Hollands have shown their intent. The superstars plan to cruise into the final. But the other athletes in Group 3 have 3 more events to hunt them down. This is the Commerce World's Strongest Man in Sanya, China. Through 3 events, Brian Shaw and Terry Hollands have demonstrated the form that's made them 2 of the planet's very best strength athletes. But 4 elite strongmen are chasing them. Can Shaw and Hollands hold off their pursuers and claim position in the World's Strongest Man final? We'll find out next. Sanya, China, on the island of Hainan in the South China Sea, the picturesque host of the Commerce World's Strongest Man. The site for Group 3's 4th event is Sanya Dongtian Park, and 4 athletes have already recorded their scores in Fingal's fingers. Juha-Matti Järvi of Finland was able to flip 3 of the 5 fingers on the course. His time, 27.54 seconds. South African Frankie Scheun, the reigning Southern Hemisphere strongest man, completed 3 fingers in a time of 24.52 seconds. Martin Wildauer made it through the 4th finger, which weighs 605 pounds. The Austrian's time was 37.43 seconds. Terry Hollands also was able to lift up and throw down 4 fingers in 30.77. The Englishman is the current leader. And that takes us to the final heat. Dainis Zageris from Riga, Latvia is a World's Strongest Man rookie. The 5'11" and 298-pounder is in 4th place after 3 events. Brian Shaw of Fort Lupton, Colorado is the 2011 champion, and he's considered a co-favorite along with 3-time champ Zydrunas Zageris of Lithuania to leave China with the title.
This is a big man's event where leverage is key, and you have to be able to accelerate through that sticky point in the middle. And through a couple fingers so far, Brian Shaw having no problem.
Very powerful 15 seconds in.
Yeah, and Brian Shaw, you see using that great acceleration.
Final finger for Shaw, walks it up. And throws it down. Outstanding time, 32.54 for Brian Shaw.
Zageris struggling there to be able to get past that sticky point we mentioned. He's looking pretty expired right now.
Final fingers, 705 pounds. So Zageris with 4 fingers in 41.20 seconds will settle for 4th place. Shaw is the Fingal's Fingers winner. He absolutely smoked the course with 5 fingers in 32.54. Fingal's Fingers becomes a 3rd event win for Brian Shaw. He was the only athlete to complete all 5 fingers. Terry Hollands had the fastest time among the guys with 4 fingers to finish in 2nd. Shaw is the overall leader with 22 points, and 2nd it's Hollands with 20. Wildauer and Zageris have work to do if they want to claim the 2 positions in the final from Group 3. Jeff Cates is the subject of today's Commerce Flashback. A remarkable athlete, he's 6'5" and 320 pounds. The Englishman was an Olympic shot putter before turning to strongman. Cates became the first non-American to win the title in 1983, and 2 years later he added a 2nd championship. A tourist destination for people from around the globe, Sanya, China is host of the ultimate test in strength athletics, the Commerce World's Strongest Man. Next up for the athletes in Group 3 is their 5th of 6 events, the Keg Toss. And Aaron, this is a favorite of pretty much everyone.
Yeah, no question. I mean, the next best thing to seeing a keg wheeled into a backyard is watching it fly through the air, and the explosive power is going to be key here, Brent, because if you want to propel the barrels, which range in weight from 40 to 55 pounds over that 16-foot wall, you better be on point.
Finland's Juha-Matti Järvi has already tried his luck clearing the 16-foot bar, and it was a rather forgettable experience. Järvi was credited with just 2 kegs. Frankie Scheun didn't fare any better. The South African was left frustrated as he completed just 2 kegs in the allotted minute and 15 seconds. Next up, it'll be Dainis Zageris, Latvia's strongest man in 2012. Zageris enters the keg toss in 4th place overall.
Brent, Dainis is only 5'11", and this is an event that favors a taller guy. To compensate for that, he's going to need to explode through his legs, hips, and lower back like pretty early into this competition. So far, so good.
Using the bar to propel it over the top. On his 7th one, it sits there and crawls over.
We've seen a couple of the barrels hit the top of that bar for Zageris. A lot of times that can happen, Brent, when athletes are too close to the apparatus.
27.97, 8 kegs, and then a handstand.
Hey, maybe Zageris has a little bit of skateboarding in his past, a little Tony Hawk move there, but the iron was kind to him. He got the benefit of whatever the equivalent of a shooter's roll would be in the keg toss. Good work by the Latvian.
Now it's Terry Hollands dealing with an injured bicep tendon. He's from England in 2nd place overall. If he can manage to stay in the top 2 in this group, he'll return to the final for an 8th time. And Terry appears on the list of British athletes that have finished in the top 3, though he'd surely like to join Jeff Cates, Jamie Reeves, and Gary Taylor, who've all won titles.
Terry Hollands is a big, powerful guy. He's got long legs and long arms. A lot of this is technique. That 2nd keg, the 40-pounder, hit the top of the bar. He's got to make sure he's not expending any extra energy so he can finish strong.
The time to beat is 27.97. He's got to get all 8 kegs in that time.
There again, Terry Hollands, you have to finish with your follow-through straight up, and there it catches him, Brent. He doesn't get a keg. He easily could have gotten over the bar,
Not going to beat Zageris. Can't get it over again. The iron unkind to him, and now stepping away.
And Brent, that's what he's got to do, because he's got plenty of height, but he's just got to give it the room to get over, and he does a great job there. Let's see how he does with this 55-pounder.
Not quite. So 6 kegs as he walks away. Good effort by Hollands.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if those extra throws he took from being too close to the bar cost him.
You never really got a sense of urgency from Terry Hollands, but he finished with a respectable 6 kegs. Brian Shaw has been a beast through the first 4 events, and I don't think we've seen him turn it on yet. He's the overall leader for Group 3. Right here in the keg toss, starting with the 2 40-pounders.
Brian Shaw throwing those kegs around like it's nobody's business, using very little technique, but good God, very little's needed. What an excellent job, so explosive.
That's an absolute aerial assault. 8 kegs in just over 18 seconds for the 6'8" American Brian Shaw. Holy smokes. It's ridiculous that Brian Shaw can make throwing around a keg look that easy. He actually had 2 kegs in the air at the same time on 2 separate occasions there. So somehow Martin Wildauer will need to outdo that show just put on by Shaw. The Austrian strongman enters the keg toss in 3rd place overall.
Wildauer with good technique, has very good strength in his legs, hips, and lower back, and pretty early on, Brent looking very strong.
He's looking back. Now, Shaw wasn't looking back. Wildauer is.
Well, not many people are strong as Brian Shaw, but Wildauer having a pretty dang good showing himself.
He cranked out all 8 in a fantastic time. Didn't beat Shaw, but he finishes in 2nd place, 8 kegs in 20.98.
And you see how excited he is there, and he should be.
Just an amazing performance by Brian Shaw. He wins the keg toss with 8 kegs in 18.23 seconds. Martin Wildauer was nearly 3 seconds back in 2nd. Dainis Zageris 3rd. Terry Hollands was 4th. Shaw maintains his control of the top spot in the overall standings with 28 points and has clinched his place in the World's Strongest Man final. Hollands and Wildauer will battle it out for the other. Beautiful white sand beaches are one thing that draws people to Sanya, China, and another is the Commerce World's Strongest Man. We conclude the qualifying round for Group 3 at the Grand Selux Hotel with one of our classics, the Atlas Stones.
Yeah, and the Atlas Stones' overall body strength is imperative. Athletes are going to need their legs, hips, and upper thoracic back and arms to get the 5 stones that total 1,690 pounds from the floor up to their platforms.
Dainis Zageris has no chance to advance to the final, but the Latvian is definitely impressed in his World's Strongest Man debut. The 2011 champion Brian Shaw has already qualified for the final for the 5th consecutive time and has loudly sent the message that he's over the injury that hampered his title defense last year.
Watch for Brian Shaw to attack this event. This will be a dress rehearsal for the final where he'll see these same stones again.
Shaw with a bit of a bobble on the 2nd stone.
Yeah, we talked about that upper thoracic back strength. Picking these stones up as they get heavier becomes more difficult. So if you have the upper back strength to be able to get that last little bit over the lip, it's an advantage.
21.56, and he doesn't appear to be pleased. Meantime, Zageris struggling, gets the 3rd one up on the platform.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of these athletes wear tacky or tape on their forearms like Zageris does here. Not only are these stones heavy, but they're round, so they're very difficult to pick up.
Trying for that 4th to get the grip is Zageris, and now Shaw gonna try to help him along here.
Great job by Zageris. Tremendous upper back strength for him to be able to get that 4th stone up onto the platform.
And that does it. Good effort by Zageris. Impressive by Brian Shaw. He's the current leader now, 5 stones in 21.56 seconds. Zageris was able to get 4 stones in 54.03.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by Brian Shaw's time, the effort that he put up, but he had a pretty uncharacteristic mistake there on that 2nd platform. A mistake like that in the final, Brent, could cost him this competition.
And that's why he shook his head when he was all done. Now to the last pair. Martin Wildauer has lots of work to do if he wants to reach the final. He has to beat Terry Hollands by at least 4 places here in the Atlas Stones. And Terry Hollands can make things easy and put all the various scenarios to rest by just beating Wildauer in this head-to-head matchup.
Yeah, you'd have to expect that the veteran Hollands gets the job done here. You don't reach 7 straight finals by accident. And through the 1st stone, he's looking pretty good.
2nd one up for Hollands and onto the platform. 3 to go.
Wildauer a little bit slower, a little bit more deliberate. Hollands showing you that great strength and power and technique wrapped all up into one. He's got his 4th stone before Wildauer even picks up his 4th.
410 pounds it up there in 30.77. And back into the final once again is Terry Hollands. As Wildauer lifts his fifth, gets some encouragement here from Hollands. And unable to get it done.
Last stone proven to be too much. Again, it's about strength, but it's also about stamina.
5 stones in 29.97, and Hollands finishes second in the Atlas Stones. Wildauer finishes third. He got 4 stones in 30.77. The Atlas Stones is the 5th event to go into the win column for Brian Shaw. The big man from Colorado's winning score was 5 stones in 21.56 seconds. Terry Hollands finished second. With 34 of a possible 36 points, Shaw dominated the group. Hollands held up Wildauer's challenge to get the second spot in the final. Hollands will be chasing his first title, while Shaw will be looking for number 2. So with the addition of Brian Shaw and Terry Hollands, more than half the field for the Commerce World's Strongest Man final is complete. For Aaron Taylor, I'm Brent Stover. So long until next time from beautiful Sanya, China.